All righty, here we go. Brand new Flyers Daily for the 7th of November, 2025. Flyers Daily presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. A second straight road win for the Philadelphia Flyers as they come out on top against the Nashville Predators. All right, here's what's coming up. We're going to break down the game, talk about the game, give out the game pucks. Then we're going to go into looking at last year's first 14 games side by side with this year's first 14 games. We're going to talk about Jamie Drysdale and Cam York. And don't look now, but here comes TK. Another 2-point game for Travis Konechny last night against the Predators. And all of a sudden, he's got 8 points in his last 6 games. So Flyers outshoot Nashville 26-24. Now, they played Nashville a week prior. They beat Nashville 4-1 at Xfinity Mobile Arena. They got outshot in that game 33-18. But Dan Vladar made 32 saves on 33 shots. And in last night's game, he makes 23 saves on 24 shots. And the only goal that he gave up was when he had no chance on at a puck thrown to the net by Phillips Forsberg that actually hits off of Jamie Drysdale. And Dan Vladar's got to make himself into a scarecrow. He has no idea where the puck is. Just kind of go like this, and it just floats over his glove and into the back of the net. That's the only one Nashville would get. Nashville attacked the middle of the ice like crazy. First 9 minutes of the game, they were all over the Flyers. They were PO'd still, how they lost that game against the Wild in overtime with the net off. And they came out with their hair on fire. They got the one goal, a minute 44 in. The goal at recording, still being credited to Ryan O'Reilly. I think it's going to go to Philip Forsberg. But the Flyers weathered the rest of the period. Around the midway point of the period, you started to see the Flyers gain a little territorial advantage, and it started on one shift. It was one shift about 10 minutes and 30 seconds or so into the period, and it was Sean Couturier down below the goal line in the Nashville zone, just crushing the board battle. Just kept the play alive, doing a great job, 50-50 battles along the boards. Eventually, after about 28 seconds of a board battle, where Couturier is just keeping Nashville at bay and deep on their goal line, he gets it out front for a scoring chance. Okay, whistle. They go off their shift. Then all of a sudden, 1-1 board battle like that creates an opportunity turned into the next shift, where Noah Cates is out with Travis Konechny. Cates, now doing the work along the boards, down below the goal line again, is able to slip a pass to Travis Konechny. He gets a great scoring chance. Saros made a great save here. And you start to see the momentum shift because of that one shift by Couturier. Now it starts to lift the bench, and it becomes contagious. And the Flyers really good pressure through the remainder of the first period. But unable to get anything by Saros, so they go to the break down 1-0. 4:43 into the second. If we were wishing for one Flyer to score in this game, who would it be? Yep, that's right. It'd be number 39, Matvei Michkov, who went 9 games without a goal. Here he picks up his second goal of the season. And if you haven't seen the replay of the goal, the video of it yet, I advise you to go on to the Flyers Twitter handle on X and look at the celebration for Michkov. It wasn't like an exultation of, oh, thank God. It was like, I want to say a curse word. He was getting frustrated. You could tell by the way he reacted to scoring the goal, and that's a huge goal. It ties the game at 1. First of all, great job by Brink and Couturier with the forecheck, keeping the puck alive in the offensive zone. Brink blows a tire. It goes to Couturier. Couturier cross-ice to Cam York, who then activates down the left side. It looks like he almost gets mugged on his way in and pulled off his balance. But Cam York's such a balanced skater and regains his balance, head up, finds Matvei Michkov right in a perfect spot, and Michkov buries it. His second of the season. Cam York with an assist, Sean Couturier with an assist, a hard-working goal. 1-1 is the score at that point. Then at 17:37 of the second period, another hard-working goal. The one thing a coach hates is when you don't clear the puck out of your D zone and you give the opposition second chance opportunities. This time it is Travis Konechny, who does a phenomenal job on the left side. He knocks the first clearing attempt down with his stick. It goes back to Nashville again. And then Nashville looks like they got an easy clear. So Yost and another one of their forwards, I forget who it was, start to blow the zone. Jamie Drysdale, as the point man, starts to back out of the zone, shade to the middle in case it is going the other way, so he can have a good gap. But Konechny then jumps in and seals the boards, creates the turnover. It drops at his feet. He corrals it. Then he gets it across the now Drysdale recognizes, whoa, they didn't get it out. We have possession. So Drysdale, facing the play, jumps it to the middle. Now, the two Nashville players that flew the zone don't see it as quickly as Drysdale. Matter of fact, they react to Drysdale moving back into the zone and start to bank a U-turn, but they're way behind the play at that point because their momentum's carrying. Their back was to the play. They assumed it was going out. Drysdale saw it wasn't, jumped the middle of the ice. Konechny gets it to him. Drysdale drives the middle, gets a good shot off. Cates is there for the rebound, his fourth of the season. Flyers go up 2-1. Turns out to be the game winner. And again, where were both goals scored from for the Flyers? And even the Nashville goal within 3 feet of the goal line. I put out a heat map during the game after 2 periods of play. Like, it's so obvious where to go to score goals. Go down around the blue paint. This time it's Noah Cates. He does that. Flyers pick up the 2-1 lead. They head into the third period. It's tight. It's back and forth. And at 18:47, Travis Konechny into the empty net. His 5th goal of the season, 2nd point of the game. Dvorak and York with the assist. York of the multi-point night. And the Flyers skate off with a 3-1 win. And 2 points. And a chance on Saturday to avenge that loss 2-1 on the 23rd of October to Ottawa and sweep the week and grab 6 points of the 6 points available. You got the first 4, both on the road. Tuesday against a really good Montreal team at the Bell Center. And then last night, within a week revenge for Nashville, and you go in there and find a way to get a 3-1 win, a regulation win. And you got the first 4 available. Now you got a chance Saturday to grab all 6 that are available in this calendar week, and you got a couple days off before you take on Edmonton Wednesday. So really good performance last night by the Flyers after what looked like a sleepy start. But sometimes we look at the start and we look at it through the lens, the Flyers lens, and that's it. And we go, boy, they don't look like they're skating tonight. They don't have their game. But we got to realize there's a team on the other side, and their motivation and anger and the way they came out was based on them feeling like they got robbed with an overtime goal with the net off. I think it was the right call, by the way. I have no skin in the game. I don't have any skin in the Nashville game. I don't have any skin on the Wild. So I think it should be a good goal, especially when Saros or the goalie knocks the net off so purposely, kind of. But that being said, you got to give credit to the other team. They're coming out and they're dictating on their home ice. And it makes the Flyers look like they're not ready to play and all that stuff. I get it. But sometimes you got to just hang on the road for the first 10 minutes. The old adage, hang on the road and then capitalize on your chances. And you're not there to entertain. You play a kind of a boring road game, but they didn't play a boring game. In the second period of that game last night, all of a sudden it got really chippy. And there was like scar tissue between these two teams. It was good. It was an entertaining hockey game last night. Dan Vladar. Again, like I said before, he gives up I think it was the first shot he faced on the goal that hits off of Drysdale and kind of goes over him. Doesn't give up anything else. Makes 23 saves on 24 shots. Vladar in a game, when he's dialed in, he really reads the game well. And what I mean by that is you don't see him over-committing to any play. On a lateral play, he doesn't come flying across all out of control, and then it goes back the other way, and now he's diving and all that, although he did make a diving save last night. But he seems, when he's reading the play, he's very in front of it. He's kind of, as the puck goes across, he's already anticipating it. And I imagine for opposition teams against Dan Vladar, when he's reading the play like that, he just looks massive in the net because he fills up the center mass so much with his size. And when you're not chasing the play and you're already there at your spot when the other team gets the puck at the spot, and you look up and you go, damn, he's there already? He's not even chasing the play a little. He just seemed to read it. He looked really confident in his reads last night and just not overplaying anything. Arms, I thought, were really tight to the body. His movements were really efficient. And I thought he beat the pass all night. He beat the pass. What does that mean? For a goalie, that means you see the puck is going to go in a lateral play. You beat the pass. You get to the spot before the guy can collect the puck, get his head up to shoot. You're not coming in, getting into position and making the save. You're getting there. You're set and square. Now you got all options. You can go down. You can cover high. He's beating the pass on his feet. And you would think a guy with his size wouldn't be a great skater on his feet, because we had Ivan Fedotov last year, who was huge, but wasn't a great skater. Was always kind of like a yo-yo with his depth a lot, which we talked about a lot in the podcast, how he handled screens. I watched the play last night. Vladar working the screen, just worked around it, boom, went right in. It was in the third period, took it into his breadbasket. Didn't overcommit on the screen to go too far and leave too much on the short side. Or in this case, he actually leaned short side, didn't leave too much on the far side, just enough just to get around it. And then, boom, center mass back right into his body, got a whistle. There was about 3 minutes left in the third period last night. That's a goalie beating the pass, reading the plays, and not overplaying the situation. He was excellent. He gets a game puck. Couturier gets a game puck. I thought he had a really good night, and it wasn't like he piled up a bunch of points, or he ended up with an assist, but I thought that he changed the game for the Flyers, the complexion of it, and I just thought he was just solid in board battles all game. It's not a glorious thing to win board battles and get a game puck for that, but it's important. Cam York and Jamie Drysdale, they both get game pucks, number one. And like York all of a sudden is really piling up points. He got his 8th assist of the game last night, multi-point game. He's had a 3-point game this season. He has been, not good, really good. He's having a great bounce back year where he didn't start the season with the team. He was hurt, but man, has he been really good lately. And I'm not just counting offensively. I'm talking defensively, offensively, decisive in the D zone, decisive in the neutral zone, activating in the offensive zone. He's been really good. York now has got a goal and 8 assists, 9 points in 11 games this season. That's the kind of production we're talking about from the blue line that you love to see. Jamie Drysdale, another assist last night. He's got a goal and 5 assists. I think there's still more there for Drysdale. I think the biggest shock to me this season has been the ability of Drysdale and Sealer defending. They've been really good. Now, it helps you get in good goaltending, certainly. But this team has defended well. And I say team because it's a 5-man unit that defends. But Drysdale and Sealer have been really good. York has had a revelation of a season. Again, I remember going back to the summer when York signed the contract extension, and we saw the number, the 5.1. And I said, if he gets back on the path he was on 2 years ago and adds a little offense to his game, that contract is going to seem like one of the greatest bargains in the league. Because he can play a ton of minutes because he doesn't waste energy doing things that don't matter. He knows how to manage the game. He's such a balanced skater that he can handle rushers off the transition by not over lunging or over committing. And he's adding that offensive element to his game. We've seen him on the power play with Zegras and how that unit's worked. We've seen Drysdale on the power play. Going into the game last night, for goodness sake, the Flyers had the 14th ranked power play in the NHL at 20.9%. What? All right, let's compare the first 14 last year, where the Flyers through 14 games were 5-8-1. So that tells me they had, 11 points in their first 14 games last year. This year, they're 8-5-1. That's 17 points. So last year, through 14 games, they had 37 goals for. This year, they have 41. It's only 4 more goals. But here's the difference. Through 14 games last year, by the way, that 14th game was a 2-1 overtime win for the Flyers against Tampa last year. They gave up 51 goals through 14 games last year. This year, they've given up 36. That's it. 36. What are you? Remember my preseason bold predictions? If the Flyers can give up a half a goal less per game, 41 less goals than the year before, they're going to blow that out of the water at this pace. Now, I don't know if this pace remains. We're only 14 games in. But Jason, don't get out. Settle down. Don't get out of control. It's only 14. I know. Now, last year, through 14 games, they actually had 9 power play goals on 47 opportunities. This year, they've got 9 power play goals on 44 opportunities. But yet, last year, the power play actually started out decent last year. Now, it fell into the abyss. It never looked good. This power play looks much better. But those are the differences. And Flyers activated Sam Ersson off of IR yesterday. And Jacob Gaucher goes back down to the Phantoms. Alexei Kolosov is still here. I imagine he'll probably go down this weekend. And does Ersson start Saturday? I would probably still go with Vladar on Saturday and let Ersson keep practicing with the team. In a week where there's only 3 games, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I ride the hot hand for now. And Ersson will get his opportunity. When he gets back, he backed up last night. And you're going to need both of those guys. But that's the difference in a year. That's how much of a difference it makes. I keep talking about this extra point the Flyers have gotten those 3 games and how much of a difference it makes in the standings. Well, it's very pronounced. And all of a sudden, like you look at the wild card now, Flyers are in wild card number 2, 3 points or 1 point back of the 3rd spot in the Metro. I mean, they're right here in the mix. And in today's NHL of parity, like the top team in the Eastern Conference is 20 points, and 3 teams have it. That would be Montreal, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh. Flyers have beaten 2. By the way, Flyers have beaten 2 of those teams, Montreal on the road, and they beat the Penguins at home in a shootout. The bottom team in the conference is only 7 points back. That's the Florida Panthers have the worst record in the East with 13 points at a record of 6-6-1. So it's that tight. So if you can put yourself in playoff position, you just got to maintain it. Problem is when you get behind, you win 5 of 6, and you look up at the standings and go, we didn't move anywhere. It's like walking on a treadmill, but you're walking, but you don't go anywhere. You're standing still. You're in the same spot. So you got to put yourself in position when you get to the December and the holidays, and then you got to maintain it. That's the key. Right now, Flyers are in position. They're +5 in goal differential. They have the same record as the Toronto Maple Leafs. Plus 5. They got a better goal differential than Toronto, who came in here and beat them on Saturday. So big difference. And when you see the development of York and Drysdale, if Mishkov can really get going, boy, this team can be even more fun to watch. It's been a good start to the season. To beat a team twice in a week, not easy. Nashville was that team. They beat them twice. Now, the schedule coming up is not easy. It doesn't get any easier. When you look at who's on for Saturday, it's Ottawa. And then next Wednesday, it's the Edmonton Oilers, McDavid, Drysdale, the whole thing. Then you have St. Louis on the road. St. Louis has not been good. Then you get Dallas on the road. Dallas, good team. Then you come back home. You get St. Louis for Hockey Fights Cancer Night. And the New Jersey Devils, who are off to a bonkers start. Then you go on the road. You take on Tampa, Florida, the Islanders, and the Devils. Look at that road trip. Florida or Tampa. So Lightning, Panthers, Islanders, Devils. That's a tough trip. Then you come home for 6. Penguins, Buffalo, Avs, San Jose, Vegas, Carolina. It's crazy. And then you go on the road for 2, and it's Carolina, Montreal, Buffalo, Rangers. I mean, the parity is here. Gary Bettman got his wish. But the Flyers, most importantly, snag both points available last night over the Nashville Predators. They win the game 3-1. They sweep the season series. They outscore the Predators in the season series 7-2. And next up will be tomorrow when they face El Capitan. Claude Giroux returns to Philadelphia again to take on the Flyers. Ottawa Senators on October 23rd beat the Flyers 2-1. So Flyers look to avenge that, grab the 2 points at Xfinity Mobile Arena coming up tomorrow. We'll talk about that game with Bill Meltzer on Monday. We'll talk about the week that was, these past 2 games, Montreal and Nashville. We'll tee up the week ahead with Bill on Monday as well. And maybe we'll do an Ask Billy for Monday, as we kind of have a little bit of a sample size. We'll be 15 games in when Bill appears on Monday's episode. So make sure you have a great weekend. Stay safe. And we'll talk to you Monday on a brand new Flyers Daily.